You'll find my basic fee schedule sketched out here on the website. These fees reflect the level of effort and the time involved in thinking through your business strategies with you, as well as the preparation of the business plan itself. We should be able to do the entire job within 3 weeks if we work at it full-time, or 6 weeks if we work half-time. Too many business people give the preparation of their business plan low priority. That's usually because they need to run their business at the same time to develop their business plan, and that's completely understandable. The downside is that it's hard to drive the business plan to closure if we don't set a deadline. I work on a retainer basis. This means that I will ask for an advance payment of 20% of the full amount we agree on to be paid in advance. As we move through the project, I'll ask for additional payments in advance. Payments can be made either through direct deposit or through PayPal. The eventual cost and schedule may prove to be greater than we planned originally. This might happen because the scope of the project changed or the time frame changed. However, you will always know about the changes in fees and schedules in advance. You'll never be surprised. The businessman is the best person to carry out the market research because it gives him an excellent sense about what the market holds for his business. However, he may not have the time for this. In that case, I could do the market research for him at an additional fee to be agreed on in advance. In fact, our joint efforts to write the business plan could identify any number of other areas where you could use help. We'll discuss each of these as they come up. The basic business plan includes up to 50 pages of material in appendices. These appendices are often copies of presentations or published articles that we want to highlight in the plan. In other words, the appendices are generally not difficult to assemble. However, there are often good reasons for including more than 50 pages in the appendices. If we go beyond that limit, there's a change in scope and fee. Writing a business plan is an iterative process. Here's what I mean. In our first draft, we should capture all your ideas and document them. We'll spell out the business as you see it without being overly critical or being concerned about the length of the document. Once we have this initial draft in place, there's always an interesting phenomenon. When the businessman reads his plan documented in black and white, he's forced to rethink his business. He will see that a business model or organizational structure that made a lot of sense at first just isn't going to work. When that happens, we need to rethink the business and rewrite the plan. I'll never forget one plan that we changed completely at the last minute. After listening to the entrepreneur, I built spreadsheets that projected the revenues, expenses, and cash flow. The business model was complex, and there were a lot of interdependencies that no one could keep straight in his own mind. But once we had the spreadsheets in place, it was very clear that we were headed for bankruptcy within 4 months. So we reworked the business model. Once we had that in place, we saw that we'd be broke in 8 months, not 4. By the end of the day, we had to rework the model 3 times before it looked like the business would be profitable. Once we had finished reworking the spreadsheet, we had to go back and rework the business plan to align the narrative with the way we were now planning to run the business. Once we have a business plan that looks good, we'll see that it's usually more than 25 pages long. At that point, I'll lock myself in a room for a day or 2 and cut out as much fat as possible. If there's good material we just need to keep, I'll move it out to an appendix. The basic fee factors in 3 iterations of the business plan. Once we go beyond the 3 iterations, we've exceeded the scope of the original project and there will be an increase in fees. I'll let you know well in advance when we're looking at a fee increase.